time for another Marvel Legends action figure review, and this week I'm going to be taking a look at the Fantastic Four retro release of Firelord. Now, Firelord is a character who's been bobbing around on the periphery of the Marvel Universe for decades. He's one of those characters, to the best of my knowledge, has never had his own title, but he's played a significant part in many big crossover events, such as Infinity Gauntlet, to name one. He's appeared multiple times in many cosmic stories and played an integral part, often locking horns with characters like Thor or the Silver Surfer, but usually he's moreover a hero than he is a villain. He was also one of the Heralds of Galactus as well, so it's nice to have another Herald in our collection finally, and I have to say I've always had a soft spot for this character. I really like the look of his costume and always really liked it when he made a guest star appearance in one of my monthly comic books when I was growing up, and I'm really pleased to have him finally released. To be honest, as part of any Marvel Legends line, it's great to have his debut here, but particularly in this Fantastic Four retro line, which I have a lot of affection for. I really love this line. I love this card art and this packaging, and I've waxed lyrical in many other videos, so I won't go into that here, but needless to say, I think it's fantastic to finally have this character in our collection. And by now, you probably are very familiar with this card art style that we've seen quite a few releases in this series so far. Obviously, it is oversized versions of the packaging we used to get back in the 90s for the animated series releases from Toy Biz. That has been replicated almost perfectly here. I love the starfield in the background and the multiple different colours that we see there, blue and black. Of course, we have that Fantastic Four logo, which is glorious. And in the top left corner, we have that Fantastic Four logo, and we have that image of the Fantastic Four, of course, in the Fantastic car, which is lifted directly from the animated series. And I have a lot of affection for that series, as you'll probably know if you've seen any of my other videos. So this looks really nice. We have this obviously interesting image of Firelord at the bottom of the packaging as well. It is in that bubble packaging, so we can see the figure on display, and then we have this lovely illustrated image there where he's sort of like bouncing out of the package. I really like this approach. I think this looks really colourful, it's really fun, and it looks great on display. When we flip the card, we can see that artwork again, writ large this time. We have a little bit of bio about the character, and there's some information there about his various accessories that he comes with, and then an awful lot of small print at the bottom of the packaging. Again, this looks really nice. You can put this on display, you can hang it on your wall, and I think it's a really nice looking packaging. So moving on to the figure itself, I think the most striking thing about this figure is his paint apps. He's very bright, he's very colourful, and he has a really interesting colour combination anyway. Obviously all the warm, hot colours. The head sculpt, of course, is brand new. This is Firelord's debut in this line. I think they've done a really nice job of this sculpt. They've definitely got that mean expression, that sort of hot-headed look that he has. Nice paint apps on the lips and the eyebrows and around the eyes as well. Nicely done. And of course, he's got that moulded hair. And the thing I really like about this fire hair is that it actually is a translucent plastic. So if you shine a light on it, it will glow, as you can see here. And I think this looks absolutely brilliant. Now, the body is repurposed. We've seen this body many times before. We've seen it on the Human Torch figure in this very line. We've seen it on multiple Spider-Men across the years. It's a very serviceable sort of mid-build body, not too muscular, but very toned, obviously. And they've just repainted certain aspects of it. So we can see, obviously, they've painted his fire gauntlets and they've given that fire belt. Likewise, in the legs here, nothing unique or special. They've just painted in that fire effect for the top of his boots. This all looks pretty consistent, pretty appropriate for this character. I think they've done a good job all in all. And the best thing about using this body is the articulation, because it's one of my favourite Marvel Legends molds, actually. He's got this fantastic ball joint, so he can move his head up and down, he can move it from side to side, he can lean it left and right, and my word, the sheer range of mobility in this joint is fantastic. He then has ball joints in the shoulder, so his arms kick up and out. There's a complementary bicep swivel there. Double jointed elbow, so those arms can go right the way back to touch his head if you want it to, and then he's got a pin swivel at the wrist, so that wrist can rotate 360 degrees, and of course it hinges forwards and backwards as well. But that's not all, because he also has that butterfly joint in the upper shoulder here in this chest area. I think this is absolutely fantastic. I love seeing this, and it's why I love this figure so much, and this body mold in particular, because it does give that extra range of motion where that arm can really come all the way forwards and hinge all the way backwards as well. It's a pretty fantastic joint, giving you a huge range of motion and options for posing. He has a swivel at the waist so he can rotate 360 degrees if you want him to, but he also has this fantastic ab crunch as well, which gives him a huge range of motion. He can look all the way back there, a pretty healthy degree, and of course he can bend all the way forwards as well, so I can't really fault this. Likewise, he's got ball joints in the hips as well, so he can kick his legs out to the side. He's got a complementary thigh swivel there. He can kick his legs forwards, backwards, and there are double jointed knees, so he can kick that lower leg all the way to his back, which is great. There's also another a swivel at the lower leg as well, which is great, and then he has an ankle pivot as well, so that foot obviously hinges forwards and backwards, but also pivots from side to side. He also has a couple of extras as well. He has an extra pair of open hands. And of course he has his staff as well with the 2 fire ends. Again, these are translucent plastic, so shine a light behind them, they will glow up. I think this looks absolutely fantastic. We can see multiple colours in here. We can see yellow and red and a little bit of orange, and this is very nicely sculpted, so a really nice piece. And he has absolutely no problems holding that whatsoever, and there's multiple different things, different poses you can put him in, and it always looks pretty cool. For a size comparison, here he is standing next to the Human Torch, as you can see, both utilising that same base body, but to vastly different effects. I think it looks really, really good. As you can see, he's roughly in scale with Johnny Storm here, which is exactly how it should be. And then here he is with the Thing, so you can see obviously that scale coming into play there. He's a little bit shorter than the Thing, again, perfectly appropriate. So then, final thoughts. Well, it probably doesn't come as much of a surprise. I'm going to give this figure 5 stars. That's top marks. For me, I just think this figure ticks every box. And when a figure does everything right, and I couldn't think of anything that I can fault it for, and there's nothing really I wish they'd done differently, then that's a 5-star figure for me. So I have to say, yeah, he ticks every box. He does everything right. I think they've done a really faithful job when it comes to the sculpting. I think it definitely caught the character and the look of the character. I think the paint apps are really, again, comic book page accurate. He's bright and he's colourful, and it works perfectly well. And I really like the little extra touches. I love his accessories. I love the articulation scheme of this body. I think it works perfectly well. I love the range of motion that we get with this figure, which is fantastic. And I really like the translucent elements of the hair and the fireballs on the end of his staff there. I think that's a really nice little extra touch. It works phenomenally well, and I just think everything about this figure has come together perfectly. I cannot find anything to fault about it. I love it. I love the packaging. I love everything about it. So yeah, easy 5 stars from me. If you enjoyed this video, please do give it a like, and remember to subscribe, as there'll be plenty more videos soon.